Picture this, your girlfriend's rocking new lipstick, smelling like a perfume ad, and suddenly she's working late 3 nights a week. Coincidence? I think not. Women who cheat don't just slip up, they broadcast it like a neon sign. Sounds like some shady detective novel, right? But it's not fiction, it's psychology. There are crystal clear signs she's stepping out, and they're not as subtle as you think. Better yet, Stoic philosophy can help you spot them without losing your cool. Let's break down the science of cheating and why she's not fooling anyone. Segment 1. The lipstick paradox and why it's a red flag. Imagine this, your girlfriend suddenly dolling up like she's walking the red carpet, but she's just popping out to book club. New lipstick, fresh highlights, heels that click louder than a metronome, and a perfume that could knock out a room. You're thinking, wow, she's really stepping up her game. But then it hits you, why now? She's been rocking sweatpants and messy buns for months, and now she's channeling Beyoncé for a Tuesday night grocery run. Something's off, and it's not just her new mascara. Psychologists have a term for this, self-presentation theory. It's the idea that people adjust their appearance to match their social or emotional goals. When a woman's cheating, she's not just dressing up for fun. She's got a new audience, and spoiler alert, it's probably not you. A 2017 study in evolutionary psychology found that women in affairs often ramp up their appearance to maintain attraction with their new partner. That bold lipstick. It's not for book club or you. It's for Chad from accounting or whoever's getting her attention. The glow up is a signal, like a peacock flashing its feathers, and it's one of the loudest red flags in the cheating playbook. But here's where it gets tricky. Should you confront her over a new shade of lip gloss? Not so fast. Stoicism, straight from Marcus Aurelius, tells you to pause and focus on what you control, your judgment, not her wardrobe. A single glow-up doesn't mean she's cheating. Maybe she's just feeling herself or got a promotion. The key is context. Is this new look paired with other weird behaviors, like secretive phone habits or sudden work trips? That's when you start connecting the dots. So how do you stay stoic here? Observe without jumping to conclusions. Note the changes, when they started, how often they happen, and what else is shifting in her behavior. Don't let emotions cloud your logic. As Epictetus said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. If she's dressing up for someone else, it'll show in other ways. And that brings us to the next big clue, her phone. If it's suddenly her new best friend, you've got another piece of the puzzle. Segment 2, her phone is her new best friend. Let's talk about her phone. You remember when she used to leave it on the kitchen counter, unlocked, with notifications piling up like junk mail. Now it's glued to her hand like it's part of her anatomy. She's texting at 3 a.m., tilting the screen away from you like she's hiding state secrets. You casually ask, "Who's that?" And she mumbles, "Oh, just Sarah from yoga." Right, because Sarah's got yoga tips so urgent they can't wait until sunrise. Here's the cold, hard truth. Secretive phone behavior is a screaming red flag. A 2019 study from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that increased phone secrecy, like guarding it, changing passwords, or freaking out if you touch it, is a top predictor of infidelity. When someone's cheating, their phone becomes a vault of guilty secrets, flirty texts, late-night calls, sneaky DMs, or even dating apps disguised as work tools. She's not just protecting her privacy, she's hiding a side hustle. And don't buy the "I need my space" excuse. Privacy is one thing, acting like her iPhone's a Secret Service black site is another. But let's pump the brakes. Confronting her with "Who's texting you?" is a rookie move that'll backfire. Instead, channel Stoicism. Epictetus would say, don't be disturbed by things, but by your opinion of things. Focus on the facts. Is she suddenly password protecting her phone? Does she panic if you're near it? Is she taking it to the bathroom like it's her lifeline? These are data points, not emotions. So what do? Start observing patterns. Note when she's secretive, late at night during work calls or when you walk in unexpectedly. Don't snoop. That's a weak move that violates trust. Instead, use stoic clarity to stay calm and gather evidence. If her phone's become her new BFF, it's likely tied to other shady behaviors, like a schedule that's suddenly busier than a tech CEO's. Let's dive into that next. Segment 3. The mysterious schedule overhaul. Ever notice how her calendar's suddenly packed tighter than a rush hour subway? She's got work meetings that drag until midnight, girls' nights with friends you've never heard of, and errands that take longer than a Lord of the Rings marathon. Last week, she spent 3 hours at the gym, but came back without a bead of sweat or a gym bag. Unless she's lifting lattes at Starbucks, something's not adding up. Psychologically, cheating requires two things: time and opportunity. When a woman's stepping out, she needs to carve out space for her side gig, and those vague excuses are her cover story. A 2020 report from the Institute for Family Studies flagged unexplained absences as a classic infidelity marker. She's not just busy, she's strategically unavailable, creating windows to meet someone else while leaving you with flimsy alibis like, "I had to help Karen move." Karen, who lives in a one-bedroom apartment and hasn't moved in years. But here's where Stoicism keeps you grounded. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Don't let your mind run wild with worst-case scenarios. Instead, observe the pattern. Is she vague about where she's going? Does she get defensive when you ask simple questions like, "How was the gym?" If her answers are as detailed as a politician's promise, that's a clue. And if she's combining these absences with other signs, like that glow-up or phone secrecy, you're building a case. So how do you handle it? Stay calm and collect data. Jot down the times, dates, and excuses, not to play detective but to see the bigger picture. Then, ask open-ended questions. "Hey, you've been out a lot lately, what's keeping you so busy?" Her response, whether it's nervous deflection or genuine openness, will tell you plenty. Next up, let's talk about her emotional vibe, because that's where things get really messy. Segment 4. Emotional distance or over-the-top affection. Now let's get to the emotional roller coaster. One day, she's colder than a January morning in Alaska, barely talking, dodging your hugs, acting like you're her annoying roommate who forgot to do the dishes. Then, out of nowhere, she flips the script. She's baking you cookies, calling you babe like you're in a rom-com, and showering you with affection that feels off. What's going on? Is she cheating or just moody? Here's the psychology behind it. Cheating creates cognitive dissonance, a mental tug of war between her feelings for you and her new fling. When she's distant, it's often guilt or detachment creeping in. She's emotionally checking out because her focus is elsewhere. But that sudden sweetness, that's overcompensation. A 2021 study in Personality and Social Psychology Review found that cheaters often use mate retention behaviors, like excessive affection, to mask their betrayal or keep you from getting suspicious. Those cookies aren't love, they're a smokescreen, but don't let this mess with your head. Stoicism's got your back. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it." Apply that to her. Is her behavior consistent with who she's always been? Or is she playing a role to cover her tracks? Look for patterns. Is the coldness new and unexplained? Does the affection feel forced, like she's reading from a script? These swings are clues, not just random moodiness. So, what's the Stoic move? Don't react emotionally, whether it's to her iciness or her sudden charm. Observe and question calmly. "Hey, you've seemed distant lately. Everything okay?" If she's cheating, her response might be evasive or overly defensive. If it's something else, like stress, she'll likely open up. Either way, you stay in control. Speaking of control, her body language is about to give you even more clues. Let's check that out. Segment 5, body language that screams caught. Picture this, you casually ask, "So, who was at that work thing last night?" And she freezes like a deer caught in headlights. Her eyes dart to the side, she fidgets with her hair, or she crosses her arms like she's building a fortress. Maybe she laughs too hard, answers too fast, or mumbles something rehearsed. These aren't just quirks. They're neon signs of deception, screaming louder than her words. Body language is a goldmine for spotting lies. A 2018 study in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior found that liars often show micro-expressions of discomfort, avoiding eye contact, touching their face, shifting their posture, or even swallowing hard. When a woman's cheating, her body betrays her, even if her story's airtight. She might not realize she's doing it, but those nervous tics are like a lie detector you don't need to plug in. For example, if she's suddenly avoiding your gaze when you ask about her day or fidgeting like she's sitting on a beehive, it's a red flag. But here's the Stoic angle. Don't let her twitchy hands or darting eyes throw you into a rage. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Stay calm and observe. Is her body language consistent with how she acts when she's relaxed? Or is she guarding herself like she's on trial? Combine this with other signs, like her phone obsession or schedule changes, and the picture gets clearer. So what do? Don't call her out mid-fidget. That's a trap for drama. Instead, note the patterns. Does she get twitchy every time you ask about her late meetings? Does she overcompensate with forced smiles? These are data points. Keep them in mind as we move to the next step, how to respond to all these signs like a Stoic pro. Segment 6, the Stoic response to cheating signs. All right, you're seeing the signs, the lipstick glow up, the phone fortress, the shady schedule, the emotional swings, and body language that's louder than a foghorn. Your gut's screaming, she's cheating. But charging in like a reality TV star isn't the move. Stoicism's here to keep you sharp, grounded, and in control, like a modern-day Marcus Aurelius navigating a messy relationship. First, focus on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your peace. You can't control her choices, but you can control how you respond. Start by observing without judgment. Grab a notebook or your phone and jot down the patterns, dates, times, behaviors. When did she start guarding her phone? How often is she working late? This isn't about paranoia, it's about clarity. Data beats assumptions every time. Next, have a calm conversation. No accusations, no ultimatums, just curiosity. Say, "Hey, I've noticed you've been super busy lately, what's going on?" Her response is key. If she's open and honest, you might uncover stress or another issue. If she's defensive, vague, or flips the script to make you feel guilty, that's a red flag. A 2020 study in Archives of Sexual Behavior notes that cheaters often deflect or gaslight when confronted, so watch for that. Finally, set your boundaries. Stoicism isn't about being a doormat. Seneca said, "Life is long if you know how to use it." If the signs pile up and she's dodging accountability, ask yourself, is this relationship worth my peace? Maybe it's time for a hard talk or even walking away. But what if you're wrong? What if it's not cheating? That's where the next segment comes in. Let's explore that possibility. Segment 7, could it be something else? Hold up. Before you assume she's cheating, let's flip the script. Maybe that lipstick's for a new job interview, not a new guy. Maybe her phone's blowing up because her mom's in a crisis or her best friend's going through a breakup. Maybe she's distant because she's stressed, depressed, or just figuring herself out. Life's messy, and not every weird behavior means betrayal. Psychology tells us that stress, personal growth, or even a midlife crisis can mimic infidelity signals. For example, a 2019 study in the Journal of Personality found that major life changes, like career shifts or family drama, can make people act secretive or distant. That glow up could be her boosting her confidence for a promotion. The late nights, maybe she's taking night classes to level up. The key is to separate assumptions from reality, and Stoicism's perfect for this. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Don't let your imagination turn her yoga class into a secret rendezvous. So how do you figure it out? Talk to her, not with a gotcha vibe, but with genuine curiosity. Try, "I've noticed you seem different lately. Everything okay?" If she opens up about work stress or a personal struggle, you've got context. If she shuts down, deflects, or gets defensive, that's another clue. The Stoic move is to seek truth, not drama. Stay calm, listen, and weigh her words against the patterns you've observed. This isn't about giving her a free pass. It's about being fair. Assuming good intent until proven otherwise keeps you rational and protects your peace. If the signs keep stacking up, though, you're not imagining things. Let's tie it all together with the power of patterns. Segment 8. The power of patterns and Stoic clarity. Here's the big picture: women who cheat don't hide it as well as they think. That lipstick glow up, the phone fortress, the mysterious schedule, the emotional roller coaster, the fidgety body language, they're not random. They're a pattern, and once you see it, it's like spotting a storm on the horizon. A 2020 meta-analysis in Archives of Sexual Behavior confirms this. Infidelity isn't a one-off slip. It's a web of behaviors that build over time. The signs connect like dots, and you're holding the pen. But Stoicism takes this further. It's not just about spotting the signs, it's about owning your response. You're not a victim or a fool. You're a rational person who can choose how to act. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Use these signs as a wake-up call. Maybe it's time for a real conversation about trust. Maybe it's time to set boundaries or walk away. Or maybe, if you're both willing, it's time to fix what's broken. So, how do you move forward? Start with clarity. Review your notes, those patterns you've tracked. Then approach her calmly. "I've noticed some changes and I want to understand what's going on." If she's cheating, the truth will surface eventually. If she's not, you've opened a door to connection. Either way, you stay in control. This is your power, seeing the truth and acting with strength. Stoicism teaches you to live with integrity, no matter what she's doing. So, what happens when you confront these signs head-on? That's where the real game begins. All right, you're now armed with the truth. How to spot the signs a woman's cheating, from the lipstick glow up to the phone fortress, the shady schedule, the emotional swings, and body language that screams caught. You're welcome. This isn't about turning into Sherlock Holmes or losing your cool. It's about seeing the world clearly, like a Stoic sage who's got life figured out. You've got the psychology of infidelity and the Stoic tools to handle it like a pro, whether it's a tough talk, a clean break, or working things out. But let's make it real. Have you ever spotted these signs in your own life? Drop a comment below. I'm curious to hear your story. Did the lipstick paradox tip you off, or was it the 3 a.m. texts? And if you want more on decoding relationships or mastering your mind with Stoicism, hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it's your ticket to staying unshakable no matter what life throws at you. See you in the next one.